and welcome to yet another episode at SB's Academy, Learn English with Sucharita. And in this particular content, we are going to complete the 7 C's of communication. We still have 3 more points left and we are going to cover and complete this lesson today, which brings to an end to the 3-part series on the 7 C's of communication. So the 5th point or the 5th characteristic of communication that we are going to focus on is concreteness. Concreteness refers to when you are communicating something to somebody. There should not be any loopholes or vagueness in your communication. So much so that the reader or the listener or the receiver gets confused about it. So, when you are trying to be concrete while you are communicating, you have to capture the attention in such a way that vivid details are captured. Right? You have to capture the vivid details of any particular communication. Now, this strategy is usually useful in marketing campaigns. I'm going to read out a short extract. You can see the same extract on the whole screen. It will flash on the whole screen. You can look at that. This is about the advertisement of a particular resort. Like when you're advertising a particular resort or a property, you are focusing on certain concrete details that highlight the best part of that particular product. So I'm reading it out, please listen. Hilltop Resort is the jewel of the Western Hills. Take a break from your work. Escape from life's chaos and stress. Relax and rejuvenate yourself at Hilltop. Go back fresh and energized. This is a part of an advertising campaign for a particular resort. Now, why do you think people will actually flock to this resort to spend their holidays and vacation? Because the entire advertisement campaign, which is a part of the communication strategy, it gives you certain vivid and visualizing details. Like the words are chosen, the sentences are framed in such a way that once you read it, you can actually get transported to a very, very tranquil, calm and a serene space which is a welcome break from the drudgery and monotony of your workplace. You can actually imagine that. That is the power of concreteness in communication. So the words are designed in such a way, the styling is done of the communication in such a way that your senses are immediately captivated by the vividness of details. So this is what you call concreteness in communication, right? Now we move on to the next point, which is coherence. Now, coherence is one point we are going to cover in greater details when we will be doing writing skills, and we are going to talk about the mechanics of writing. So, coherence is one writing skill that we are going to cover in greater details there. But here we are just going to touch upon coherence as a skill especially for written business communication, for written form of business communication. That is to say that when you are coherent in your writing, you do not stray from the key point. This is like, you're sticking to the main point. Whatever you are writing, you don't get engaged in such a flow of writing that you forget what is the purpose of this piece of communication. What is the message that I have to convey? Who are my audience, or who are my listeners, or who are my receivers? You have to keep these points in mind whenever you are trying to be coherent in your business communication skills or in your communication, especially in written business communication. So you have to ensure that you do not digress. So if any kind of digression is taking place, you have to immediately know that you have to come back to the point. You cannot afford to digress from there, right? The last point we are going to talk about among the 7 characteristics of communication is courtesy. Now, courtesy is a very, very integral part of office communication or business communication. At any case, you are not supposed to lose your peace of mind. Even if you lose your peace of mind, nobody can have a control on our minds. Like, we all tend to get angry, we tend to lose our patience or temper. That happens. But in no case should it be reflected in your mode of communication, both oral and, more importantly, written. Suppose you are very, very angry on somebody, you want to escalate somebody. I mean, escalation is a term that you often use in the corporate parlance if you have to go against somebody officially. I mean, you're not appreciating a particular employee or a subordinate's way of work, and you're planning to escalate against that person or go against that person officially. So even when you are complaining against somebody, you are making a negative note of somebody's say appraisal or any kind of behavioral pattern that you notice. You have to ensure that you maintain the proper decorum in communication. Under no circumstances are you supposed to use any kind of unparliamentary language. Note this term, unparliamentary language that goes against the decorum of any office organization. So here we have one example of an email that a particular employee has shot to the IT section, IT department, because certain technical needs of his project were not met. And here we will see what exactly to write first, then we will see what not to write. So the entire, a perfect sample of maintaining courtesy in business communication is going to flash on the entire screen. You take a look at it. If you want, you can also take a screenshot of it. I'm going to read it and please follow, right? I understand that the IT team is swamped with work and gets requests from every department in the organization. My team, however, is working on a high priority project, and I would greatly appreciate if you could ask your team members to respond to my team's queries promptly and help us complete this project on time. Please do let me know if you need anything from me. This is an example of a courteous communication through the use of parliamentary language which maintains the office decorum while communicating. Suppose you have lost your temper and you decide to shoot an angry mail. What is the thing that you should not write about the same thing when you are working in an office? I am reading that as well. Please focus. I really do not appreciate how your IT team ignores the request of my team alone. My team has an important function in this organization too, and we have our own IT requirement. Can you ensure that your team promptly responds to my team's requests hereon? That is it. So you can actually notice the tone from the way how I have read it. You can notice it from my tone, how the decorum is violated over here, the kind of language that is used, the throw of words, none of which is parliamentary. So this is an example of how you should not write an office email, however angry you are. Okay, I would advise you to take a screenshot of this as well. Take a screenshot of this as well, right? So that you know what not to do. So with this, we come to the end of the 7 characteristics of communication. I hope you have understood this all. And this is actually a very, very important area a very favorite area for the examiners rather. You can often expect questions from here, short questions, long questions. So please go through it, and I hope you have understood it properly. So see you again next week. Happy learning.
Coming up in the following weeks are audio texts on 7 C's of communication, listed variously by scholars for making you examination ready. Don't miss the videos for some crisp notes, facilitating a quick revision of the key points and possible answers to some of the most frequently asked questions at the examination. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to SB's Academy channel on YouTube for more such content. Follow SB's Academy's page on Facebook for SB's tips on grammar, vocabulary and communication skills in English. Don't forget to like and share the content. Leave your views in the comments and let us know what else would you like us to cover here. Happy learning!